Peace. Are you living or just existing? Question you should ask yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because we have a thing called living life. You know what I'm saying? Being alive and living. And then you have this ideology of just existing. You understand? And there's a differentiating factor between existing and living. You understand what I'm saying? Because when a person is living, they are experiencing those things that enhance their lives and make their lives a much more interesting place, a much more interesting thing to encounter, to experience. You know what I'm saying? And then you have many of us who are just inclined to be existing. Poverty creates a particular mindset. We talk about the mindset all the time. We talk about intent. I talk about poverty. I talk about these things because they're consistently, existing in my community as well as other communities. They exist, and something that exists means that it's there. You understand what I'm saying? It's there, and it's just there. You know what I mean? It has no energy. It just exists. Sometimes as people, we take on the same ideology and the same type of action character related to the self. You know what I'm saying? Existing and living. Well, I would say, me personally, I'm living life while others are existing. And what that means is that I have the understanding of what this life is about for me as an individual, as well as my connection and tie to the rest of humanity or the rest of people or the rest of the community or so on and so forth. So yeah, even though I'm an individual, you know what I'm saying, I am still aligned and tied to a community of people. You see what I mean? And in order to enjoy life, there's certain things that I have to recognize about living. You understand? And understanding that no man is an island unto his own self. When you're living, you are dealing with others, you know what I'm saying, and you are extending the hand of peace and unity to other people. When you are living, you are also experiencing the highest heights of your own outcomes, your own hard work, you know what I'm saying, your own reality. So, to me, there's a big difference between existing and living. You understand? People made songs, living my life like it's golden and all of these other types of things. Well, it's a beautiful thing to live life. So you have to ask yourself this question, really. You have to really ask yourself and really examine what this means. Are you alive? Are you existing? Now, the reality is that everybody walking on the planet is alive. We're living. But how are you living? Are you living, you know what I'm saying, in a manner in which is healthy, which is going to enhance the life that you have, your life energy, your frequencies, your vibrations, your physical, your mental, emotional, spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Or are you just existing, meaning you are along the way somewhere, you just out here without a point of reference, you understand what I'm saying, without a point of direction, without guidance, you understand what I'm saying? And because if that's so, then you are just existing. And that's a problem, because we need to do more than just exist, you know what I'm saying, in these days and times, because existence alone can be a dangerous thing. Why? Because when you're just existing, it's easy for others to utilize your existence for the benefit of their own selves. Why? Because you don't understand how to live. And what I mean by that is that you aren't setting your own short-term goals, long-term goals. You aren't setting your own directive course to live. You understand? You're not setting goals. You're not outlining actions that will lead to particular outcomes that will enhance the life that you're living. You understand what I'm saying? And when you're living, everything else around you is alive. Everyone who's connected to you is living as well, because the living and in that energy of living, you extended outward. From the inward, you extended outward to others. You know what I'm saying? And others feel your life pulse, what we call it when you shake somebody's hand and you touch somebody's hand or their arm, you can feel their pulse. When you're living life, you know what I'm saying, that's a pulse as well. And others can live the life pulse along with you when you're living life, because their life pulse is just as well, ignited as yours is. The purpose and the differentiating factor between existing and living life, for me, is the person who's living life has one thing in place that the person who's existing doesn't really, or may not even have. You know what I'm saying? Or doesn't even recognize the need to have this. And this is called purpose. When you have a purpose, you no longer exist. You live to fulfill the purpose. Existence doesn't allow purpose to play its course. But when you have purpose, now you have life and you can live to fulfill the purpose. But if you don't have purpose, then you're just existing. This is what it means when we say we have people on the planet who are just taking up space. They're just existing. What we call, some people say in the hood, oh, I'm just maintaining. It's just not enough to maintain. You understand what I'm saying? You have to sustain, you know what I'm saying? You have to maintain, organize, sustain. You have to elevate, you have to ascend. Maintaining is not enough. Maintain is just short of maintenance. Maintenance meaning you have to put in some type of work. And you need tools to do maintenance on the self. So with that being stated, this is what I'm saying specifically. You know, if you're coexisting, if you're just existing, it's things that you're lacking. You understand what I'm saying? And many of us tend to want to exist because it's just easy to exist. Then we have those of us who are trying to live and living life and experiencing life in all of its grandiose, you know what I'm saying, ways, and even in its ways of failure. Because see, failure is just a short step away from success. You understand what I'm saying? The more you try things and the more you fail, you're getting close. Failure and success go hand in hand. You have to fail in order to succeed a couple of different times. You have to fail. Failure is necessary. But see, some of us, because we're existing, we don't understand the purpose of failure. We don't understand the purposes of success because we're just existing. And we're allowing others to use our existence for their own personal gains. So with that being stated, ask yourself which one? Existence or life? Peace.